Well, today marks 2 weeks since the Hill Country floods. Governor Greg Abbott says the number of people who died in Kerr County is now up to 116, and the death toll in the state is now at 135 because of flooding. There are still 97 people missing in Kerrville. And because of the floods, natural resource experts are now calling for urgent land use reform. A coalition of conservation groups and water experts will be holding a press conference today in Comfort. They are pushing for smarter land management and stronger flood plan protections. They think all of that will prevent future tragedies. Our Tawny Davises will be live from there throughout the morning, and we'll have the very latest on TV and online at news4sa.com. Well, the governor keeps saying that search and rescue efforts or recovery efforts will keep going until everyone is accounted for. He is praising the flood response from local and state officials.
In talking to the officials about why they responded the way they did, they talked about being trained for events like this months in advance, being organized and then executing on what the game plan was, but also maintaining a sense of compassion for the needs of the people of this community.
The governor also says that more than a dozen state agencies are now assisting in local communities, and that any flood response concerns will be addressed at the upcoming special legislative session, which begins Monday in Austin. The response for volunteers has been overwhelming in Kerrville, so much so there are now just limited opportunities. So going forward, Kerrville will only be registering and assigning volunteers until able work orders are filled. But there will be more chances to help in the coming days and weeks. George Strait, as you probably know, is throwing a huge benefit concert in Boerne on Sunday, July 27th. 1,000 tickets were sold, and they sold out fast. But a warning that not all donations are going to where they should. News 4's Jonathan Martinez spoke to one local man who donated $10,000 to the cause and got scammed.
What I was concerned about was the fact that somebody stole money from people who were suffering in our state.
$10,000 gone in a matter of minutes, all meant for flood victims and recovery efforts following the devastating and deadly flooding in the Hill Country.
Tragedies like this bring out the very best in people. In Texas in particular, we have our people's backs. It also can bring out the very worst reprehensible behavior in people.
This man, who wants to remain anonymous, says his wife saw a Facebook post advertising George Strait's fundraiser in Boerne, with proceeds going to those impacted by the Texas floods. Wanting to help out, the couple made the effort to make sure it wasn't a scam.
I even went to George Strait's website, looked at the wording, it was the same. Looked at the graphics, it was the same.
It was nearly the same, but turns out not identical.
There was one letter that was different in the email on this Facebook post from the email that was on George's website. That was all it took.
After emailing the person back and forth, the couple ultimately sent $10,000 for what they thought would be 4 tickets to the Straight to the Heart fundraiser. A costly mistake, with the money ending up in the hands of scammers rather than flood victims.
It was a charity event. We saw no reason to not do that and step up and help the community for Kerrville and Kerr County.
The man says the reason he's sharing his story is to warn others to avoid a similar situation.
My main purpose for doing this, I know I won't get any money back. I know it won't change anything in my case, but I don't want to see anybody else get taken like this.
That was Jonathan Martinez reporting. The Better Business Bureau says this type of scam happens a lot. Here's what they suggest before buying any sort of concert, sporting event tickets as well. They say to always try to buy tickets directly from the venue when possible. Also, go to the Better Business Bureau's website to see if the vendor is a member of the National Association of Ticket Brokers. You can also use a credit card when buying things like this. That way you can dispute the transaction if for some reason the tickets aren't as promised. You will not get scammed, I promise you, if you donate through us. News 4's teaming up with the Salvation Army for Sinclair Care's Texas tragedy relief. So far, because of you, we have raised more than $186,000. If you'd like to be part of the efforts there, just scan the QR code. Your money is being used to provide meals to survivors and first responders. Well, city and counties are making sure they have resources to prevent another tragedy. In Comal County, authorities say that they are testing their warning systems on a regular basis.
It's very, very loud. You can't miss it at all.
That's Candy Price, who manages the Rio Guadalupe Resort. She says she remembers watching the sirens go up and hearing the regular maintenance checks long before the flooding happened a couple of weeks ago. Comal County currently has 9 water alert systems. 6 of them are downstream of Canyon Lake and 3 positioned there along the Guadalupe River. Guadalupe County has 23, and Comal officials say more could be added if needed.
The county is prone to flash flooding throughout the entire county. So there are a couple other areas that we'll be looking at for the potential to install a siren.
Jeff Kelly, who is the Comal County Emergencies Operation Manager, says, and this is key, they won't keep testing in order to prevent alert fatigue. Kelly adds the county is looking into developing more escape routes there along River Road. The response for volunteers has been overwhelming in Kerrville, so much so there are now limited opportunities to help. But there is a great desire to do so. News 4's Tawny Davis is live right now with more opportunities if you would like to help those in need. Tawny, good morning.
Good morning. The Volunteer Drive, which is one of the largest volunteer opportunities located at Tivy Stadium, will only be registering and assigning volunteers until available work orders are filled. Operating hours will be dependent on available work order, and the City of Kerrville Police Department will continue to assess needs and share updates as they become available. Volunteers are asked to go to tcr.communityos.org to register and ensure people can communicate, coordinate, and safety deploy into the field to support flood response efforts. There will be more opportunities to volunteer in the coming weeks. If you still want to find ways to help, you are asked to visit kerrtogether.com to discover how you can support the recovery efforts through donations, resources, or by sharing accurate information. Now, the Kerrville Police Department continues to thank everyone who has shown up during this time, whether it's with equipment or just a willingness to lend a helping hand. They say that the kindness they have seen has helped them to start the healing process. Reporting live in Comfort, I'm Tawny Davis. Back to you.
An update now out of Uvalde. The Uvalde Fire Department confirming the body of the person whose car swept away at the Frio River crossing has been found. Wednesday, first responders conducted a rescue operation after a family member called saying that their loved one was swept off the roadway while inside the vehicle. Their identity is being withheld until next of kin is notified. We are told the area will remain closed because of water there on the roads. And today marks 2 weeks since the Hill Country flooding. Governor Greg Abbott says the number of people who died in Kerr County now up to 116. The death toll in the entire state is 135. There are still 97 people considered to be missing in Kerrville. And because of the floods, natural resource experts are now calling for urgent land use reform. News 4's Tawny Davis is live in Comfort this morning to talk about how they will present a path forward for protecting lives and natural resources. Tawny, good morning.
Good morning. With the over 135 people who are dead and the over 100 that are still missing, these organizations are asking for immediate action. Now, a press conference today that includes Heart of Texas Conservancy, Greater Aquifer Alliance, Green Spaces Alliance, and Cibolo Center for Conservation will outline science-based proven strategies to reduce flood risk and protect lives. They will also be joined by water experts, land stewards, and advocates from across the region. This comes as the Texas legislature prepares to convene a special session next week. The coalition is urging state and local leaders to prioritize smarter land management, enforce floodplain protection, and plan more responsibly to help prevent future tragedies of this scale. Now, that press conference is expected to begin at 10 a.m. here at the Comfort Pavilion Park. We will be there and update you on the information they give us on air and online. Now reporting live in Comfort, I'm Tawny Davis.
Well, the TBI Warrior Foundation is holding a medical essentials drive for families that have been affected by the Hill Country flooding that have disabilities. They're asking for all kinds of items, including bath and hygiene essentials, things like long-handled sponges, no-rinse wipes, waterless soaps, also toileting such as barrier creams, raised toilet seats, catheters, skin protection materials like pressure cushions, moisturizing lotions and creams, wound prevention and medical equipment. They can also be foam dressings, wheelchairs, cranes, walkers, and a lot more. So if you have access to any of that, you can drop off your donations at the Genesis Counseling Center of Texas in Boerne.